Hello, everyone. Welcome, everybody, to the Late Night Landon podcast. This is a new thing that I am starting on my channel for you all, and I hope you all are ready because this is going to be some amazing things we're talking about in here. These podcasts are going to be about 15 minutes long, and they're going to be hitting you hard, just like Will Smith, bro. Maybe that's an outdated joke, but still, it still hits pretty decently hard. Okay, so let's get the first thing off of our chest and our mind. What is this podcast about, and what can you expect from it? The Late Night Landon podcast is just myself sitting here talking about stuff, about things that I feel very that I want to talk about, basically. It's simple as that. You came onto this podcast to hear what I want to say, or maybe you just thought out of interest that this would be a cool looking podcast. So today, I'm going to be telling you all a little bit something about what's happening in my life, and some things you might want to hear, and some things that you might like to hear, maybe. I don't know. I guess that's the same thing. Anyway, first off, college just started back for me. This was my first day back, and I am starting my college roundabouts now this week. So that means I am very busy. Not really. The first day of class seemed to be pretty simple. I had a math class that only lasted about an hour. Not anything too terrible, but still something that was really fun to do, and I really enjoyed it. Also, too, I'm starting to learn all my class work I need to be doing. I just read all the syllabus for it, so it seemed pretty simple. Not anything too crazy, but enough to the point that I'm able to just be able to get all that wrapped around into a schedule, which is really nice. This being my third semester where I'm at, this is going to be a lot easier now that I've been used to this. My first semester, it was a total mess. My second semester just got a little bit better. And the third semester, it feels like I'm in a better place now, mentally and physically now, where I'm able to keep all this to myself. So, out of the way, what's really been happening with me? Well, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been really struggling with something recently, and I think it's going to be something that you all probably want to know about. I'm trying to learn guitar, and something about guitar is that it is a very difficult instrument to learn because you have to know how to strum correctly. You have to know the patterns, the chords, everything correctly about the guitar. But I have not taken lessons like I was with piano, and so for me, it's really difficult to have that person over me. Now, my dad does play guitar, and he's been teaching me a little bit, but I do feel like that it would be very helpful for me to get a teacher to teach me the basics so I can learn from there on. Now, where I knew piano, it was a lot easier for me to be able to pick up guitar and be able to start making my way to playing it, learning how to do it correctly, the strumming, but it all seems just very different for me. But something really interesting, and I'm enjoying it a lot more, and I definitely think that later down the road I could definitely end up doing a lot better with my guitar and start playing it for people and start learning a lot more songs. All right, now that out of the way, let's get into some topics this week that have become a little bit more heated. So first off, we're going to talk about IShowSpeed. Now, if you all don't know who IShowSpeed is, he is one of the biggest people on the internet right now, mainly on YouTube. He is a YouTube live streamer and content creator. Now, IShowMeet this week, I believe it was 4 days ago, and today is Monday, so Thursday it may have been, or Friday, I don't know. I think it was Friday. He was playing a game called FNAF Security Breach. Now, FNAF Security Breach, for those people who don't know, is Five Nights at Freddy's, and they created a new game, or DLC to it, and he was playing it, right? So he gets scared by Chica, I believe it was, and he ends up, instead of any normal person being like, oh my gosh, he starts humping the air, and then IShowSpeed forgot that he was not wearing any underpants, so he started humping the air with his meat flopping around everywhere. So instead of IShowSpeed, is IShowMeat is now what he's being called. Now, a lot of people have jumped on the trend of laughing at IShowSpeed and calling him IShowMeat. But my response to that is that he is still a kid, okay? Internet, we can all make fun of somebody for anything they do stupidly, but I don't think IShowSpeed knowingly or willingly wanted this to happen. And this has to be one of every man's struggle to get something leaked like this. This is absolutely terrible. It would be just like if a woman got her nudes leaked. Having a man and being that manly and having that courage and having the sophisticatedness of what makes us men, we don't want that part of ourselves being exposed to the public, and I don't think IShowSpeed wanted that to happen. So IShowSpeed, if you end up ever watching this, man, we love you, man, and I love your content, and you're a hilarious person. I will know you as IShowSpeed, and he's ended his live stream, which was named Over on YouTube Live, after he got onto a Omegle alternative site. Omegle is a site where you can go onto webcam with people and you can just chat with them. Well, he got onto this little Omegle alternative and people were calling him I Show Me instead of I Show Speed, and to the point that I Show Speed ended up talking about hurting himself and making that man that was making fun of him know that if he did anything stupid, it would be his fault. And his chat was spamming him I Show Meat consistently. And this is not funny. I don't care at one bit if this was supposed to be something hilarious or people were just jumping on the trend. It's okay to laugh at someone's misfortune, but when it's happening to you, it doesn't seem like it's really that fun. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's go into something a little bit more heated other than that. Something I found out really interesting. I've been playing a game called Overwatch 2. Now, for the people who may not know what Overwatch 2 is or not even know who what Overwatch is, I like to game, so I love games. So when I found out a game that I could really get into and sink a lot of hours into, Overwatch 2 was that game. Now, Overwatch 2 is a 5v5, which means 5 people against 5 people. Just hold your hands up in the air, then you've already got the 5v5. But basically, it's an asymmetrical game, basically meaning that you can choose from all these characters. It's split up into 3 groups. So the first group is the tanks. They're beefy. They got a lot of firepower, and they're going to be your brute force in winning battles. Then you got assault or DPS. Those people are going to be there to help you get a lot of damage out. They're most damage outputters. The person I've been playing from that category is a guy called Bastion. Yes, so Bastion is one of my favorite characters. Also, if you didn't know, I'm on Twitch, so make sure to give me a follow. Shout out in the video, Dread Gaming. I love this channel, and I want to get started on Twitch. But anyway, let's get back into Bastion. So, as you all can see right now on your screen, if you're watching this, basically, Bastion is the damage hero in Overwatch and Overwatch 2. He's one of the first 21 heroes, including the game's release on 24th of May of 2016. Now, the character design on him is really cool. So, in Overwatch 1, he had a really cool character design. It was a lot more rustic. It had a lot more of a war kind of theme. Now, if we look in Overwatch 2, they stripped all that away and just made him look like a little, I don't know, someone that's going to an ice cream shop to get a little some ice cream, you know, and they just does not look the same. I honestly was really disappointed, and when you play the game, you can change it back to Overwatch 1 character, and this gives you the real name. He's the Siege Automaton E54. It doesn't really have a name. But he's really cool. One of my favorite guns from him is this little gun right here. It does 7.5 to 25 damage. If you land all the shots, it can do pretty well. All right, so now I have a calculator open. So if you had minimum damage from his gun, you could do a total maximum of 187.5, which is a pretty good damage. Not amazing, but I mean, it definitely could kill a decent amount of people if hit correctly. Now, if you get all your shots hit with the maximum damage times the 25 ammo, well, you're looking at 625 damage maximum. Now, this not only obliterates tanks and can already half shot someone else damage, maybe a support, and we'll get into support. That's the other class. But Bastion has to be one of the best DPS characters I've played so far. He's the most fun to play. He even got removed from Overwatch 1 from a time period because he ended up being so overpowered. Really cool. Next, we're going to be looking at another character I like from Assault. His name is... Oh, wait a second. I ended up doing something wrong. Alrighty, we got back on here. We got our boy Genji. He is amazing. He is a little ninja boy, and I love this guy so much. But him being a very hard character to play, he is very difficult to work with. But once you start to master his layout and how you play with him, he ends up being an absolutely deadly beast. And you can see right here in Overwatch 2, has this little green little color to him. In Overwatch 1, he had a really cool kind of like anime look, but in Overwatch 2 now, he kind of looks a little bit more like he's ready for battle. He's matured more. His real name is Genji Shimado. This is the Japanese text for it, which is really cool. He is 35 years old, of course, from Japan, You know, he's really cool. What makes this character a lot of fun to play, though, is his ultimate. Now, his ultimate is considered probably like one of the worst ultimates that you can get on assaults, but it's the most fun. And that's the Dragon Blade. He ends up being able to grab his sword out and shoot people, not shoot people, but hit people with it, as you all can tell. My little katana in the back is actually what I really loved about playing his character, because I had my own katana. Now, that is not a sharp katana, that is a dull katana, but if you all did not know something about katanas, to get off a little bit on a different path, katanas in most places are considered to be an attack or defensive position. Now, where I have my katana already, it'd be in defense position. But if you have your blade opposite direction, so if you just rotated it 180 or I guess 90 degrees around, you would be able to, or 180, not 90, 180 degrees. Sorry, it's been a while since it's been geometry. That's why I'm in math class. You would have it flipped around. It would be facing this way. That'd be attack position. Anyway, back to Overwatch 2. So let's go with our boys, the support characters, or the healing characters, whatever you want to call them. Now, I have not played this class that much. I probably played roughly about 30 minutes of this class. I just don't like being able to get up into the action. Now, this is really more for passive players, I would believe, or people who are just really good at the game, being able to protect their people. This ends up being one of my favorite, and when I say favorite, one of my favorite things to do in Overwatch 2 is to get next to side the healer. One of the best characters you can get in the game is a person called Mercy, I believe is the name for it. Yeah, it's Mercy. Okay, so anyway, Mercy is one of the healer characters that you can get in the game, and she is really cool. What Mercy can do is she can fly around the map once she gets her ultimate, and she's able to heal people from above. She can also revive down or dead teammates, basically, and she's one of the best healer characters that I've played. I really like her. She's a very good character to play with. She does well in competitive. Another character that I really like, Life Weaver. He's not one of the most beloved characters, but he's the most fun to play, I think, as healer. He has a little flower that you can stand on that will lift you up to the top a little bit of the map, and you can rain down your little attack, which is really cool, and ends up being able to sprout up this thing called the Tree of Life for his ultimate. It's like a huge tree that pops out of the ground and is able to heal everybody around him. But overall, Overwatch 2 is a game that you need to check out. Even though Blizzard is one of the scummiest companies I've ever seen in my entire life, Overwatch 2 takes the cake for just a free game that's fun to play. As long as you're not looking to pay money for cosmetics, you should find a great deal of fun for this game. And to end it off with another game that I'm actually looking into is a game called Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I have not been one for Dungeons and Dragons kind of games, but this game takes the cake. Now, if you don't know what Baldur's Gate 3 is, I will leave a review of IGN of the game so you can check it out in the description. Make sure to check it out. It's a cool game. This game is just like a tabletop game that you can play, and it's really cool. Anyway, guys, that being said, I think that's going to be all for today for the Late Night Landon podcast, and we are going out with a bang, boys. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day, and Late Night Landon is out for the night, guys. Thank you.